Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and repeat a little portion of the video where I create the air inlet. I did in the first video. I think there was useful content in that, but I spent a lot of time because I had some mistakes. And I'm not going to go ahead and try to re-edit and film that whole video. So I'll show you what the summary is. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to create a sketch and then extrude it and then make two different bodies, separate things, and you'll see. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, first of all, I need to figure out where I'm going to put this. And so what I like to do is, let's get centered right over the top of this. And this is not real scientific here, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a sketch right on this plane. Just so I can make sure I remain centered, I am going to, you could use the constraints to find the actual center of this object. Instead, I'm just going to sort of eyeball it for this object, because where this inlet comes in, this direction is not that important. But now I know the center. You know, as long as I get in the middle of this line, I'm in the middle of this object. So I can now hide the body. That's the whole moral of the story here. So now I can draw without worrying about it. So I know from my little measurements, I need the inside diameter to be 4.2, the outside to be 6.5. So 4.2, 6.5, and that's it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this part, both of these pieces, and I'm going to extrude them. I think it's 26.4. 26.4 millimeters, because that's the inside or the outside diameter of the entire portion of the tube. So it's the distance from here, where we're at in the middle here, to out here. It's that it's the radius of this portion of the outside radius, and then I wanted this body to stick off the full length. This tube needs to be 15.3. So the total distance is from this point is 26.4. So 26.4 millimeters. Now I'm going to make sure, right now it thinks it wants to cut. The software just assumes it's a cut. I want it to join. I want it to be a solid piece in here. I want it to join. Click OK. And so now what I'm going to do is I am going to simply click on this, click delete, and so now it's gone. The only problem is there's no escape. There's no vent for this to actually, let the air into the inside of here. So that's where I'm going to turn my sketch back on, and I'm going to click extrude, click on the two internal components. If it was too hard, if you were making something longer where this view wasn't helping, you could just turn off the body, click on them, turn the body back on so this works. And I'm going to extrude it, we'll say 30 millimeters, it really doesn't matter. And now I'm going to let it cut this time. And so that was sort of a Boolean subtraction. So now there's the exit. So there we go. We've got inlet, outlet. I can now come in, if I want things to be less severe of an angle, I can come to the fillet, click here, click on this round rim, change it to, we'll say 1 millimeter, and what it does is it creates it sort of rounded. I like to change this to, the default is just constant radius. I rather the chord length. I'm going to say plus, because I'm going to come to the inside and do another fillet here, but I said plus because I want a different radius for this one. It's a smaller circle, so I don't want to have as big of a rounded area. So I'm going to say, instead of 1, I'm going to say 0.5. Do those rounds even matter? No. They just look pretty. Now, they can be functional in that if it's a sharp corner, it's more likely for it to break off. Okay, so the shear strength. The inside one has no relevance. It's just to look pretty, whatever. You can do more fillets on these sharp edges if you wanted to make things look prettier. In this functionality, I don't think this matters. Most of my designs, I do fillets almost everywhere, but for this, I don't think I would. I want things to be sharp because they create friction, which makes things hold together. So anyway, there's a little quick 5-minute video showing you how to attach that Y pipe to this fitting. I guess if you stumbled on this video from other ones, check out my other videos. Hopefully I gave you enough information to know how I made that without having to watch the other videos as well. It all comes down to measuring the inside diameter, the outside diameter, how long you want it, knowing the diameter of this cylinder right here. And that's basically all I kind of skipped around on for you. All right, hope this video helps.